Recently I came across a place there, a cottage that was done up locally, and I'm just going to head up there now. You can take a look at it and see what you think of it. I think it's absolutely spectacular. It's clear though that it was done by an architect who designed, and it's clear as well that a lot of money went into it. Just turn off this TV here. Yeah, it's clear that it was an architect inspired renovation of an existing cottage, and I knew the cottage from years ago. It was sort of a typical Irish cottage, roadside cottage. It ran parallel to the road, and it was fairly typical of its time and age and so on. But recently I just went by it there on my Vespa. I'll go up there now and have a look, and you can see it yourself. I'll do the best I can in terms of getting some footage of it without hanging around outside and causing any unnecessary alarm. But I think it is a spectacular job. Oh God, the bird is still here. The bird here is still in the... He's here since yesterday. We need to get him out. The door is open there now. Come on, birdie, out you go. He's flying around, and he needs to leave for his own health and welfare. Anyway, I'll open the front gate here, front door, garage door. Hopefully he'll fly out there now shortly. As I was saying there, it is, in my view, a spectacular renovation job of a typical Irish cottage. I'm going to go up there now. I'm going to step a bird there now. I need to get him out for his own good. He's in there in the corner. Go on, go out. Go out. The poor devil. Oh, he's gone out there now. Good stuff. He's gone out stuff there now. Yeah, I'm going to go up there now, have a look at it, and get a little bit of footage of it. Have a look. It's very, very sympathetic. I think it's a fantastic job, brilliant job. It's obviously an architect did it, so I'm going to go up there now. This is the Enfield Edenderry Road. Enfield is 11 kilometres, you can see in the sign there. Just up here now, over the brow of the hill, there's a sort of a crossroads called the Sweep of Carbury, and on the left-hand side there's a cottage. You'll see it's a thatched cottage. I actually acted for the gentleman who bought it, and the other cottage that we're going to look at, which, as I say, has been very sympathetically renovated by, well, under the design of an architect, was a similar sort of a cottage to this one that's just down here on the left. This one, this place down here now is called the Sweep of Carbury, and it's a sort of a four crossroads, although the roads it's not exactly a four crossroads. It's kind of staggered. But on the left-hand side, you'll see the cottage with the thatched roof. When we get to there is there. Just the old thatch looks fairly shook now. In fairness, that thatch on the roofs can cause a difficulty in terms of getting insurance. This cottage now is up here on the right-hand side. And before we go up there, picture in your mind a traditional Irish cottage which just ran parallel to the road. Let's go up and have a look. That's the outline of the cottage there now, but you can see the extension they put onto it. That first part on the right hand side there is the original cottage. The other part on the left is an extension, and I think it's a fantastic job they've done on it. I really do. I think it's beautiful, and it's clearly architect designed. Don't want them thinking now that I'm casing the joint or anything. This isn't an ideal place to be pulling in. But I think it's a fabulous job they've done on it. And it's clearly, as I say, some architect designed it. The original cottage is there. Jesus, it's very nice. It's really nice. Now, I'm not suggesting for a minute that everybody should get an architect involved in renovating a cottage or whatever. And I've no doubt whatsoever, looking at that particular development, that a significant amount of money went into it. No doubt about that in the world. A lot of money went into it. I see the big solar panels there at the back as well. I'd say the whole bloody house is probably solar powered. But I think it's a fantastic job, and it just shows you what you can do when you have a professional on the job, an architect, and when you have a big budget. I'd say they had a big budget. There's no way they didn't have a big budget, but I think it's a spectacular renovation of an existing cottage. So now on the way back here, we'll have a look at the other cottage that I mentioned to you earlier on there. We mightn't have seen it correctly, at the sweep of Carbury, and we'll get a closer look at that. It's got a thatched roof on it, and I acted for the man who bought it. But if it was to be renovated in a similar way, then you can see, you know, the possibilities, and I suppose any good architect will see the possibilities with any particular project, and obviously that's what you're paying the big money for. But there really is occasions when you can see the influence of an architect, and that cottage, which I've been driving by since, you know, many years, going up and down this road to train in Carbury. I've passed that place regularly. As I say, I knew it to be just a roadside cottage, and now it's a spectacular residence. There's no doubt about that. And when you have the money and you have a professional on the job, it's clear that you can achieve things of beauty. This cottage here now is very like the one that we've just seen. In other words, it's nearly identical to the sweep of, we're back here again to the sweep of Carbury, and there's the cottage over there on the right hand side. That's the one I was referring to earlier on there, which is on the left as I travelled in, and you can see there's the cottage there now. That thatching probably needs to be rethatched. But that again is typical of the type of cottage along this road, and along many roads in Ireland, which, you know, could be renovated spectacularly or in a less spectacular way, in a more cost-effective way than the other place. But the other place gives you an idea of what's possible, you know. The left-hand side, up here on the left-hand side, there's a site for sale, all right, and I'll show it to you, and you'll see what the problem is. Here's the sign here on the left-hand side. Edward Carey, the auctioneer in Enfield, is selling it. Then you'll see here on the left, you'll see site STP. STP means subject to permission. So this here site is a lovely little site. Nice location, excellent location. It's a nice location, very good location. The site is subject to planning permission, and the problem with that is very simple. It will be very difficult, not impossible, but difficult to get planning permission. Why? Because you must satisfy local needs, and local needs criteria are criteria imposed by county councils up and down the country to sort of curtail or manage building of one-off bungalows or houses in the countryside. Now, it's not impossible, and I have another client up here on the left hand side who's built a very nice house, and they got planning permission, but they must fulfill and satisfy the local needs criteria. So that site back there, I think they're looking for 85 grand or thereabouts for it. But you must satisfy local needs, and that's not easy. And this is Kildare County Council you have to satisfy. Down here then, further on the left hand side, there's a nice house built by clients of mine as well. They satisfied local criteria, they got planning permission, and they're building a house. But if you're looking at building or buying a house in the countryside, or looking to build a house in the countryside, you're going to have a difficulty if you're buying a one-off site. A big difficulty, because satisfying the planners is very, very difficult. It's difficult to get planning permission. The big advantage of buying the cottage there that we saw earlier on, the big advantage with that is that there's an existing residential dwelling on the site, on the plot, on the footprint of ground, and therefore if you have a half-decent architect at all, you have a very, very good chance of getting planning for a renovation which, to all intents and purposes, would nearly be like a new house. But you will have to satisfy, or you will have to get planning permission. But I don't believe you have the same problem with the local needs, because it's not a new one-off development, it's not a new addition to the housing stock. It's actually a renovation and a breathing of new life back into existing housing, which predates the planning laws. So I think planning there would be far easier. Having said that, probably building a house on a site from scratch is probably going to be more cost effective in terms of money. Well, there's the house there now my client's built. It's in there, back there, yeah. I think that's it anyway. So that's the story. You have a greenfield site there on the one hand, which we've just had a look at, difficult to get planning permission. On the other hand, you might pick up a cottage, it's going to cost you a certain amount of money, whatever, but from a planning perspective, you're in a far stronger position to get planning permission, simply because you're not building a brand new house, you are renovating an existing property, and the existing property may have a septic tank, it may have a water connection, but it's far easier to get planning permission, and I'm nearly certain that local needs criteria don't apply to renovation jobs, don't apply to existing properties that are going to be renovated and brought back to life. So that is the story. Back down to Nan Brennan's here now. Serious rain there on the yesterday. Jesus, shocking rain yesterday. It was absolutely biblical. It's not bad today now, and the road is pretty dry. So anyway, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button down below, and you might be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. My old camera here as well, lolling around the place, is not tight. Anyway, nearly home, so it doesn't make any difference. Going to watch a couple of GA matches now on the TV. The first one I'm not too concerned about Monaghan and Down, but the second one involves Donegal and Mayo, and Mayo being the perennial losers. I'm going to root for them today. I hope that they win and get through anyway and keep going, because Mayo bring a great bit of colour and life to any championship. They have a great old following, and they're such a good story. If I can think he's falling down there. They're such a good story, especially going back with that tale about the funeral or whatever, and the curse being put on the team years ago. Interesting, but I don't think it's the reason for their failure to win the bloody All-Ireland. But anyway, at least they have an excuse. Kildare don't have any excuse not to be competitive. Kildare have a massive and growing population, and yet we're going nowhere. This is a pity. forgot I had the microphone in my helmet. And it fell out there when I took the helmet off. Didn't realise I had that much battery left in it.